Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is a condensed version of today's episode of Undisputed, handpicked with the best segments and discussions. Skip, Shannon, let's go.
Adrian Peterson signed with the Redskins last week, then got the start on Friday night. AP had 11 carries for 56 yards in Washington's loss to the Broncos. He even carried the ball on 7 straight plays during one possession. And after the game, he said he was, quote, knocking a little rust off. And Skip, your guy Ezekiel Elliott even tweeted about AP's return, saying, quote, "Mama, there goes that man." Shannon, how impressive was AP?
He looked good. He looked good, but it was only 11 carries, and I can assure you, Adrian Peterson is an old-school bell cow. He needs carries. He needs touches. And the more you give him the football, the better the chances of success that he's going to have. But the problem is, Skip, once you reach an age, especially for that position, you carrying the ball 30 times in a game has a diminishing return in future games. You look at his first 3 games in Arizona, he goes for what, 134, 159. And then you look at the games after that, 21 carries, 29 yards, 13 carries, 20 yards. 3 of those last 4 games that he had, they were under 30 yards after he got off 2 of the first 3 for over 130. So that's the thing, Skip. I'm not saying Adrian Peterson can't be a valuable commodity because I still believe he can play. I believe he can probably get 800 yards this season, which is 50 yards a game. But they're looking at it, and I think Adrian is trying to say, I can go get 1,500 yards. No, you can't. I don't believe he can. I don't believe he can take that kind of pounding and come back because, like I said, first game, Skip, is 11. You know, he's going to be a little sore. Hadn't played a whole lot. But in the regular season, you carry that rock 25, you carry it 30 times, and then they ask you to come back and do it again. So that's where I think the problem's going to be as you start your age. You can have that spot game where you remind people of what you used to be and how good you used to be. But to do that on a continuous basis, on a consistent basis, I think that's where the trouble will lie for Adrian.
But you think that he is now vaulted all the way to the top of the Redskins?
Oh, I've always felt he was going to be the starter.
Oh, okay, good. Good, I like this. So, once again, I'm going to speak as a Dallas Cowboy fan because I can't help myself. I was sort of born and raised that. I can't get it out of me. So, as a Cowboy fan, from a distance, I watched a lot of this game the other night, and I was not impressed, nor was I concerned or fearful of what I saw from Adrian Peterson. I thought he looked pretty good. He looked better than I thought he would given all the rust. New system, new place. But it looked to me like Adrian Peterson was playing the equivalent of his Super Bowl. And I admire him for this, but a lot of backs would not subject themselves to this at this stage of their career, especially a first-ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
He was playing desperate. He was playing to make the team, because if he came up empty for whatever reason, I don't know if he even makes the team. And now you're telling me that the team is so shaky at running back, obviously they lost Darius Guy, so he wouldn't even be on the team at this point, that he has vaulted all the way past Rob Kelly, Samaje P. Ryan, and others.
Oh, Chris Thompson.
Chris Thompson, but he's the third down back.
Right.
He's more of a pass catcher out of the backfield, but he's vaulted all the way to bell cow, right? Well, that's good for me then, because I don't fear that, because that means they don't have a whole lot at running back, if you're right about that.
They didn't. That's why they invited him in.
All right. So I'm looking at what the Redskins did other than Adrian Peterson the other night. They went 1 for 11 on third down, did their offense. That's not very good. Alex Smith went 3 for 8 for 33, and then Colt McCoy came in and went 3 for 8 for 19. That's not very good, right? And Adrian Peterson's effort lifted them all the way to a 17-3 halftime deficit to your Denver Broncos. So the Broncos were kicking them pretty. And despite all of his heroics, Redskins, so they scored 3 points at halftime. They were down, what was it, 23-3 after 3 quarters. I don't know. I didn't see a Redskins team that makes me quake.
No, we're not talking about the Redskins, Washington. We're talking about Adrian Peterson.
We're talking about bell cow. Bell cow, the Redskins?
But
really?
But here's the thing, Skip. No, I don't think anybody thought that Washington was going to be overly good. For me, I don't see the big upgrade between check down Alex Smith and First Cousins.
He'll be a little better than Kirk Cousins.
I don't believe so. But the question, can he do what he did the other night. Can he do that for the entirety of the season, in which he will carry the ball more than 11 times in a ball game? I do not believe he can. Can he give you flashes? Can he remind you of what he used to be? Absolutely, he can do that. But consistently, over the course of 16 games, when he carries the ball, there'll be times that I believe he will carry the ball 30-plus times in a game. I don't believe he can give you that.
Okay, so let's step back and look at exactly what happened. The last carry of Adrian Peterson's night was 4th and short against your Broncos. And Adrian admitted after the game that he wasn't real happy because the play call came in and he was expecting to get to slam it up the gut, and it called for him to go off left tackle.
Right.
So he takes it off left tackle, if we could see this play, and he decides, oh, it's open on the flank. I'll just bounce it all the way out, then I'll cut back, and I'll get 15 yards on the last carry. That was 4th and like a foot.
Right.
Okay? So that's 15 yards. Until then, he had, let's see, he had 10 carries for 41 yards, so about 4 yards a carry, which wasn't that sensational, but the 15 sort of put it over the top and made it seem much better than it really was. I did see a couple of jump cuts from him that surprised me. I also saw an Adrian who looked like he was a little heavier than he usually is, but I figured that will go away with a few hard practices, I'm thinking, because he couldn't do quite as much cardio. He's more of a weightlifter than a cardio guy, so I'm sure that will evaporate fairly quickly. But I'm going to remind everybody, the Saints said no, and again, they had Kamara come out of nowhere.
Right.
And then the Cardinals had those 2 big flash games, and then they said no, right? But they got David Johnson back.
The thing, Skip, in order for him to be successful, he's going to have to be the bell cow. Because what we've seen is that when you try to split him with carries, he's not going to be successful. He's not a guy. Kamara could get 7 touches and get you 50 yards because he's going to get a one pass play. He's going to go for 20.
I'm sure Mark Ingram would like to be a bell cow.
Right. But they're better suited for that role because Mark Ingram shared the ball at Alabama.
He did.
So he's used to sharing the ball. Adrian Peterson at every step has been the bell cow back. He's not used to sharing carries. He's not used to playing that role. So in order for you to maximize and get the maximum effort from him, you're going to have to give him the bulk of the carries. If you're going to be unwilling to give him the bulk of the carries, Skip, he can't be Adrian. He can't even give you a facsimile of what the real Adrian Peterson is.
Okay. So remember, the rest of the NFL had said no to Adrian Peterson until Darius Geis went down, and the Redskins said, let's bring him in, just check it out. Looked good in the workout. Oh, let's sign him. They had Jamal Charles, other guys in, right? They decided to keep him for exactly $1,005,000. You know, like it's not a lot of money. It's not a big risk that they took on Adrian Peterson. And yet I'm watching the game the other night, and they're showing Redskin fans in the stands just going crazy over Adrian Peterson. Let him go crazy.
He's still Adrian Peterson. He still has that name, Skip. Is he that back that rushed for over 2,000 yards? No. Is he the back that was, Rookie of the Year? No. But I still believe he's better than whatever they have. But if you're not going to give him the lion's share of the carries, I do not believe you can get the benefit of what you have in Adrian Peterson.
Okay. So Redskins have Adrian Peterson as their bell cow. Eagles have a quarterback quandary. Eli was real hit and miss the other night. Odell didn't play. I don't know. Obviously,
your guy didn't play. Your guy didn't play. Dak hadn't played. Zeke hadn't played all preseason. Neither has Tyron Smith. What about your offense? You got to score some points.
My offense was on the sideline.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yep.
What about the first game? They on the sideline first game?
They've looked really good this week.
Really?
Yeah. Every time Dak's been in there, it's been whoosh, whoosh, touchdown, touchdown.
They got like what? 17
points.
We're
good. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You're getting nervous. I can see it.
I want you to remember you said that in about 2 weeks. Okay. We good. I thought we were good. We not good.
Okay. Now let's talk about what's going to happen opening week at Carolina.
Really? You're done with the conversation?
Yes,
you're leading the way now?
Yeah, get a chance to see the best middle linebacker.
That was my job.
No, I'm just saying I'm going to save my Carolina comments until we do pick.
No mercy. Tiger Woods finished in a tie for 40th at the Northern Trust this weekend. Then, after his round yesterday, he was asked about his relationship with President Trump. Let's take a listen.
Well, I've known Donald for a number of years. You know, we've played golf together, and you know we've had dinner together, and so yeah, that's I've known him, you know, pre-presidency and obviously during his presidency. He's the president of the United States, and you have to respect the office. And no matter who's in the office, you may like, dislike personality or the politics, but we all must respect the office.
Shannon, what is your reaction to those comments?
Well, I'm not surprised, Skip. Tiger has done a great job of, when it comes to certain aspects of politics, staying out of it. Skip, you remember when he won the Masters in '97, the Masters champ, get the following year, he gets to determine the dinner, what you want to eat. And you remember Fuzzy Zeller said, I hope they don't have no fried chicken, macaroni and cheese. That would have been Tiger Woods' perfect opportunity. You see, guys, this is the BS that I've had to deal with my entire career. This is why you don't see more minorities on the PGA. This is why you don't see them in the country club, because I can assure you there are a lot more people that think like Fuzzy Zeller than not. But no, that's not what he did, Skip.
By the way, they were paired together opening round the next year, had nothing to say. It was
Right.
like peaceful coexistence. Go on.
Exactly.
Right.
So that would have been his great opportunity, but that's not what Tiger was doing, because Tiger realized there are more people like Fuzzy that watch golf and play golf than people like me. I don't want to tick them off, because then, you know, I might not become what I want to become, because I'm going to need that. You see, Tiger didn't bring more blacks to the golf course. He professionally to the golf course. Now, he did bring a lot casually. You know, you see the Michael Jordans and the Currys, everybody's playing golf. He brought a lot more casually to the golf course, Skip. Serena, same thing with Serena. See, the difference between Serena and Tiger, Serena is unapologetically black. You say something about Serena, she will strike back. She's not going to take it, turn the other cheek. Billie Jean King, white sport, women, say something about her, Martina Navratilova. You say something about them, they'll attack back. They're not going to take the high road. Tiger will always take the high road, because he doesn't want to tick anybody off, because if somebody does not buy a Tiger Woods golf cap or a shirt or shoes or something, Tiger says, I've lost. He learned that from Michael Jordan. So see, but he said something very important, but you have to listen carefully. He said you have to respect the office of the presidency, because see, the presidency is an institution. The president, the person, he didn't mention anything about that. You need to respect the office of the presidency, regardless who occupies it. But it's hard, and I said this before, President Trump makes it hard for you to respect that office when he doesn't respect the office that he's holding. We can see why they like Tiger Woods and President Trump get along well. What? They like golf. They have an affinity for women that's in the entertainment industry. I'm not talking about Hollywood. Okay, I am talking about, but Skip, you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
You tried to make me say it. I don't want to say it.
I didn't say a word.
The adult entertainment industry. So, you know, they have an affinity for those type. They both like to do, you know, what is it? NDA, non-disclosure agreement. You know, so, you know, I can see why they resonate and get along quite well with one another, Skip.
Doesn't this come across as if Tiger's saying Donald's a buddy of mine?
Yeah. He's like, I knew him before, you know, he was the president.
And he's known him
I
now.
know him now.
I played golf and I've had dinner.
So, you know, so if y'all think I'm going to come up here and say something bad about him, but like I said, we should have expected this from Tiger. Tiger is not going to, he's not going to step over into that fray, because that's not who he is. That's never who he was. And so I'm not surprised Tiger took this approach. But if you listen closely what he said, you respect the office, even though if you don't necessarily respect the person that's occupying the office.
So I'm with you on this, top to bottom. This was predictably typical Tiger Woods. When it comes to social, racial issues, Tiger has always been, dare I say, Jordan-esque.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Who took Tiger under his wing right away, 1997-98?
Jordan.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan did.
Because he's the only guy that knew what it was going to be like, Skip. Only one guy.
That is correct. And once upon a time, Michael supposedly said, although some have said this wasn't exactly how it came across, but he said to a friend of his, Republicans buy sneakers too. So he has to protect both sides.
Correct.
So don't involve yourself. But remember that Tiger Woods, 1997, after his huge breakthrough, he basically just knocked down the gates of Augusta National and won by 12 shots, the Masters. He was on Oprah Winfrey's show, and he said, I resent being called black. And he had then further made the point that his father, Earl, half black, half Native American, I'm sorry, a quarter Native American and a quarter Chinese. His mom, half Thai, quarter Chinese, quarter white. So he's saying I'm, what was this term, cobblination?
Cobblination.
Yeah, okay, cobblination.
Made that up.
All right. To encompass all the bloodlines flowing through him. But I will remind you, what was Tiger Woods' father, Earl? He was a career-long military man who did a big, bad tour in Vietnam. He fought in Vietnam, right?
Yes.
What did Tiger nearly wreck his career trying to do? He wanted to be a Navy SEAL. And it wasn't any play games. You know, he wanted to be a SEAL.
Yeah.
He was going through maneuvers with the Navy SEALs, with not real bullets, but maneuvers.
Right.
And I think that's Hank Haney thinks he tore his ACL on a nighttime maneuver going through a house with the Navy SEALs. But I think Tiger seriously thought about, I should do this because this is what my father did.
Right.
Okay, so that's the way he's going to view the office of the presidency through the eyes of military.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
Probably so. But I think the thing is sometimes we get lost, Skip, that and in Tiger's situation, yes, Tiger father served, but a lot of times people think only whites served in the military.
I got it.
Blacks served in Vietnam. They served in World War II, even though in World War II they were separate. We go to the battlefield, we'll fight, but then, hey, you go back to your barracks, I go back to mine, and I'll see you tomorrow. We get an opportunity to both die together. But Skip, but for him, acknowledge, let me ask you a question. When they arrested Tiger, what box did they check? Did they check cobblination or they put black?
I don't know. What?
Tiger, all you have to do is realize if you think you're not black, look at what happened to you in 2009 and what happened subsequently. That's all you know. That ain't no cobblination. That's African American, bruh.
Yeah, I agree.
And it was hard, Skip. It's hard for people, and a lot of people still have not forgiven him for what he said on that couch with Oprah. They have not forgiven him, and because he will not take a stand like Venus and Serena, especially Serena, because she's the top, she's the alpha. She's not gonna let you take a swipe at her. Her race, how she looks, she won't do it, and she quick to say, I've been having to deal with this my entire life. It was unacceptable. Then it's still unacceptable in 2018. Tiger just bought. And plus, also, a lot of things that's happening in America, Skip, it doesn't impact Tiger. See, when you got that, he's the top 1% of all the people in the world.
He's top.
So if you just exactly top. So whatever happens, he's unaffected by it. So what is he going to say?
So the most dismissive quote to me was the last one, which we didn't see in the clip that we showed, but it's a little toss-off quote because he was asked, well, do you have any further thoughts about race relations?
Yeah, I was going to get
talk about Colin Kaepernick-inspired anthem protests or police brutality against unarmed black men. We could go on and on there. You could make some statement. And he said, no, I just finished 72 holes and I am really hungry.
Oh, hold on, Skip.
Really?
All of a sudden.
I am really hungry.
Now, hold on. Did he play 72 holes after they asked him the original question and became hungry, or did he play 72 holes? Because you see what he did, Skip? He didn't want any parts of that. All of a sudden, his appetite, guys, I'm really hungry. I just played 72 holes. Hold up, you played 72 holes on Sunday? I thought they spread it out over the course of the weekend. I thought you get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But okay, I see. Tiger, I saw what you did there. He wanted no parts of that, Skip Bayless, and he will never engage in a situation like that because he doesn't want to make anyone uncomfortable. And he knows talking about race makes people uncomfortable because it's still an issue. It's still the elephant in the room. It still needs to be addressed, and we're unafraid to talk about it. And Tiger's like, nah, I still got a few more golf. Well, they don't do golf clubs, but I still got a few more shirts. I still got a few more. He doesn't have the sponsorships that he once had, but he still have some.
Okay, so what if in 1997 Tiger Woods had basically said, hey, white America, I'm black, deal with it? What if that had been sort of his stand?
He'd been so good. He'd so good, Skip, but he didn't know that.
Would he have sold as many Nike products? I don't know.
But
maybe not.
But you know what, Skip? He sold a lot of golf bags, a lot of Nike irons, and a lot of paraphernalia. But the one thing that you can't buy is soul.
Yeah, I agree.
He sold that. And for that, you should not be able to put a price tag on. That's what he sold. Yeah, he sold a lot of Gatorade. He sold a lot of things in his life. But he also sold his soul. And what price is that worth?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Maybe
$1 billion.
Maybe $1 billion.
Well, I mean, he's worth pretty close to that, somewhere between $7 billion, $700 million to $1 billion. So that's what it's worth to him.
So I was amused by our president's tweet about Tiger's stance or lack thereof, because he said the fake news media worked hard to get Tiger Woods to say something he didn't want to say. Tiger wouldn't play the game. He is very smart. More importantly, he's playing great golf again. Well, I don't think the president really needed to tweet this, because he should have just let it lay.
Right.
Tiger did his job for him, right? I mean, you don't need to really applaud him.
Right. But two things can be, they're not, the president and the presidency aren't mutually exclusive, Skip. They don't have to go hand in hand. You can respect the office and not respect the person that occupies the office, because he makes it very hard. If you don't respect the office in which you occupy, how should I then respect you? This is not what he does and what he tweets, Skip. That's not normal. We've tried to normalize it, and they've said, just ignore it, it'll go away. No, it won't go away, Skip. Okay. What he's doing is not normal behavior for a guy that occupies that office.
I got it. But bottom line to this, just a few days ago, I can't remember what day it was last week, what did we do about Tiger Woods? What was our topic? Yeah. Why is he still by far the most popular player in golf, right? By far, at age 42?
Nobody can move it like he can.
Nobody can move it like he can. So, okay.
And that's the thing, Skip. You would think. Look at LeBron. LeBron don't have to take the issues. LeBron don't have to talk. He's just as popular. He sells
He is, and that's a great point. I agree with that. Yeah. He is.
Sometimes, Skip, you can overcome that. I believe Michael Jordan would have still sold as many shoes. He would have still been Mike had he taken a stance. Sandy Koufax did.
He did.
When it comes to that, I ain't pitching on Sunday.
Nope.
That's a special day to me. Go win without me. I see y'all on Monday. Nobody thinks less of Sandy Koufax for doing what he did.
Well, they won, so they're okay.
Hey. He said, my soul's not for sale. Not for a World Series, not for anything.
But it's important to have these conversations still, and I think it's interesting how Tiger Woods is choosing to approach this.
Yes.
We'll see if he says more, because I can guarantee you those reporters aren't going to stop asking.
No mercy.
On Friday night, Power won the Big Three championship, 51-43 over Three's Company in Brooklyn. Corey Maggette led the way with 27 points after being named the league MVP. Congrats also to head coach Nancy Lieberman and the Power squad and our friend Ice Cube on a great season. It was fun to watch. Skip, what was your takeaway?
You mentioned it. I was so happy for and proud of my friend Nancy Lieberman, because she often played basketball against men as she came up through high school, college, and the pro ranks. And now she has coached a male team to a championship. That's a feat, and I hope that it opens doors for the Becky Hammonds yet to come.
Yeah, well, I think that's my next thing, Skip, is I think she might be in line to get a head coaching job, given the consideration of where she came from and the pioneer of this women's basketball movement. Skip, but when you look at the Big Three, it's on the rise. It was better than it was the first year. And if you look at it, they had a draft and a combine, and some players that actually played in the NBA didn't get selected. So that lets you know the talent pool is getting better.
Good point.
And as guys retire from the league, they're going to want to stay active, and they're going to head over here. So this thing is onward and upward.
Way to go, Cube.
Could not agree more. Could not agree more. Looking forward to seeing what's next for Nancy. Okay, next up, John Harbaugh called Lamar Jackson's performance on Saturday, quote, his breakout. Lamar started the third quarter and had a highlight reel touchdown run. He also impressed with his arm, completing 7 out of 10 passes for just under 100 yards and a touchdown pass. After the game, Lamar said, quote, I hope people know I can throw now. Shannon, how will this play out in Baltimore?
Skip, I still believe this is Joe Flacco's job to lose, and unless Joe Flacco just drops off a cliff, I believe he'll be the starting quarterback until further notice. Lamar Jackson needs to get rid of those rabbit ears. And what do I mean by that, Skip? If you look at a rabbit, it really has no defense mechanism. It doesn't have venom. It doesn't have sharp razor teeth or claws.
Has speed.
They can hop away, but their sense, their ears, they have big ears, which means they hear everything. And that's what Lamar Jackson's doing. Either he's on social media or he's listening to the radio, he's listening to TVs, because I hope people know every quarterback in the National Football League can throw. What separates Brady's and the Rodgers and the Drew Breeses is that they throw the ball consistently, accurately, more times than the other quarterbacks do. That's the difference, not throwing the football, because every quarterback can throw. It's just like a pitcher, Skip. Every pitcher can pitch, but can he hit those spots? Not down the middle of the plate, but can he paint the edges more times than not? The really good ones, the Kershaws, the Scherzers, the Verlanders, yes, they can. The other guys that live in the middle of the plate, no, they can't. So, Lamar, stop listening. Stop reading. Bruh, for you to, who cares whether the people not believe you can throw? All you have to do is go out there and do what you know you can do. And then Harbaugh, and they're going to make a decision when you're ready to play.
Yep.
The fans don't make that decision. The coaching staff, the front office will make the decision of when you're ready to play. But you got to get rid of those rabbit ears because it'll drive you crazy. What happens when he gets into the starting lineup and they say he stinks? He was terrible. Then what?
That is true. I agree with that point. I do not agree with your conclusion. I'm going to say it again. The Ravens almost certainly will not do this, but they should start Lamar Jackson. And that's mostly because I personally have seen enough of a guy I call Joe Flacco since his Super Bowl victory, and he was outstanding in that Super Bowl run. I don't even know who that guy was. 11 touchdowns to no interceptions. Got a little lucky in the end because I thought Colin Kaepernick got robbed in the end of that game. It could have swung the other way. But Joe Flacco was Joe Flacco, and they won a championship, and he got his money. He got paid like nobody got paid because he became the highest paid in the whole league. And since then, over the last 5 years, Joe Flacco, well, his team has missed the playoffs 4 of those 5 years, and Joe Flacco has thrown the second most interceptions over those 5 years to Eli Manning, who's led the league in interceptions 3 times.
And he missed, remember, he missed like 8 or 9 games because of injury, or he might have led the league in interceptions.
And his QBR has sunk to way below average over those 5 years, and he's scheduled to make $25 million this year. Don't ask me. I can't justify it. There's something about Lamar Jackson that I saw again in this game. And again, this was against second and third teamers, but I just like the way this kid's put together. I like his mental and physical toughness. He seems to be able to run and be able to jump right back up. He seems to be able to avoid that, so to speak, kill shot type hit. He seems to have a gift for that and a gift for playmaking that is rare to me. In his burst, it's Michael Vick, man. It is. His ability to accelerate with the football in his hand, it might even be a little beyond Vick. Vick's a little more side-to-side elusive.
Threw the ball on the move a lot better than.
Lamar's got a funky motion. He doesn't have a powerful. Michael Vick had a cannon.
Oh, yeah.
He threw rockets. But this kid, despite his funky motion, when the ball comes out, it comes out clean.
Right.
And it spirals, and he's pretty accurate. I'm not saying he's deadly accurate, but I think he's accurate enough to be a successful starting quarterback in this league.
Of all the pro sports, Skip, what's the one position that's scrutinized and criticized the most in pro sports? Quarterback.
Yeah.
Quarterback. You can't let that affect you. And
Now you're going back to that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I got that. I already did that. I'm talking about this. You need to comment on what you're seeing. I'm seeing playmaker. I'm seeing a kid who can electrify a crowd and electrify a Ravens team.
Well, if that was the case, Skip, they needed to put him in with the starters to see. Because that's an unfair advantage that Joe Flacco.
I think they're afraid of that because I think they would see that he would take over.
I think they're afraid. Well, considering what you saw the previous week when he was going to get second and third teamers and he didn't look so good, Skip, are you sure that's what you want? Because here's
some plays.
For me, I don't want to destroy his confidence so early on. Skip, there's nothing but time. We have time here. If you believe that Lamar Jackson is your future, you don't want to destroy his confidence the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
Okay. I will give you that. I don't think you can destroy Baker Mayfield's confidence because he's just been there and done it at such a high level. There's just something about the chip on his shoulder that I don't think you can knock that chip off. But with this kid, I will give you that. You could get destroyed where he'd start to second-guess runner, throw, runner, throw, runner, throw. And once you get the identity crisis going, you can't operate anymore.
And the difference between Baker Mayfield's situation and Lamar Jackson's situation is that the Ravens are expected to get to the playoffs and contend. That's not the expectations of the Cleveland Browns.
It's becoming, but go ahead. Well, it is.
Huh?
I think their odds are better than the Ravens' odds in Vegas.
Did you put
aren't they?
I think you might have went to Vegas and put some money down a couple
I didn't put a dime on it, but I wish I had.
No, you don't. No, because that's just throwing money right out the window.
Well, the reason I can't is because they won't play Baker Mayfield, and these guys won't.
Oh, so what you're saying is you knew they were going to play Baker.
I told you that. I say 9 wins with Baker, and I'll give you 7 with Tyrod. 7? Maybe 6?
I don't see 9. It's going to be hard for them to get to 9 either way.
All right.
But Lamar, look, I believe Skip with a year under his belt. Like I said, this process, Joe Flacco is going to. Joe Flacco is actually determining Lamar Jackson's how soon he plays. Joe Flacco stinks it up, Skip, because in years past, where were they going to go? Who were they going to put his backup? Were you going to put him in? So they were stuck with Joe. Play your way out of it. Now they have someone that they drafted in the first round. They're not going to say, Joe, play your way out of it. Joe, come sit your butt down. And they're going to put this kid in.
So it feels like and sounds like they're going to put this kid in little packages. They're going to toss him the ball. They're going to hand him the ball. They're going to let him run pass options.
Hold on, Skip. Why would you toss him the ball and hand him the ball when you say you don't want him to take hits? So just because you hand him the ball, he's still a quarterback. The difference is when you hand him the ball, they treat him like a running back. So you say you don't want him to take those shots, but you're going to hand him the ball and says, okay, go get it. That makes no sense to me.
I just don't want to see him relegated to this, but I guess you could argue if you can't get on the field at all, at least you can get little tastes of the field, little this and that,
So in other words,
gadget plays.
They're going to try to put him out like Slash, like they did Cordell Stewart early in his career.
Yeah, and it worked. That team got to the Super
Bowl, yeah.
Yeah.
And Cordell ended up starting and finished second. I think he finished second one year in the MVP voting. He got him to two AFC Championship games, lost both of them, but he had a pretty good career.
I think he was better than Neil O'Donnell, all things considered, because Neil O'Donnell put Larry Brown almost in the Hall of Fame in one day.
He did. And then Larry Brown got cut the next year, went to the Raiders.
Well, he got his money.
Oh, he got paid.
Yeah.
He got paid. But the only thing is,
By the way, he was the Super Bowl MVP that day. Larry Brown?
No, actually, the Super Bowl MVP was Neil O'Donnell.
Yeah, it was.
Because he stunk it up.
Yep.
I mean, he came out with me. We class of 1990, but Neil, I'm sorry, but you know you stunk it up.
Stunk it up. Way to go.
But I'm not disagreeing with you, Lamar Jackson. They put Lamar Jackson in there the opening day. They're going to wait. No, don't do that.
Why not?
Because he's not ready yet.
Have you been watching Joe Flacco over the last 5 years?
Don't you know anything about cooking? You look at it sometimes, you look at the oven like, man, they ain't ready yet. Let them stand there about 10 more minutes. Then you come back down, ooh, the thing's browning just right. 2 more minutes, they ready to go. Mama, they're ready, Mama.
I wouldn't know a thing about cooking.
I know you wouldn't.
I wish I did, but no, I don't either, unfortunately.
Oh, Shay, boy, they call Shay Buddy Crocker. That's what they call me, Buddy Lee Crocker, because I can make them. When it comes to bacon, Skip Bayless,
That's your specialty?
yeah.
So are you saying you're better than my brother?
No, why everything got to be you go to the highest level. You just can't go to a normal person. You go to your brother who's a classic trained
World
chef.
class.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just old Buddy Lee Crocker over here just making some, flapjacks and French toast and a little this and a little that.
Yep.
But I bet he can't make a possum and raccoon better than my sister. I bet he can't do that. Chop them, put them old bell peppers and onions on it with some celery. Let that thing bake with that tin foil around it. I bet he can't do that. Bet he can't make no soft shell turtle like my homeboy too.
I don't know.
Nah, yeah.
Might be able
Bet he can't do that.
Yeah.
It's always a competition.
Chef of the year, restaurant of the year.
Oh.
I put my homeboy Toot on that grill with that goat, that wild goat, Skip. Man, make a jackrabbit slap a German Shepherd to get a bite of it. And you know rabbits don't eat
My
meat.
brother sells goat. I'll bet he does. He's got everything.
He sell goat?
Yeah.
What?
Authentic Mexican. You ought to try it.
Oh, my
Frontier.
I know a goat.
Yeah.
I know a goat personally.
know.
Oh, Goat James. Yeah.
You don't
Okay,
know him personally.
let's talk a little bit more about Goat James. Will Kobe fans ever love LeBron? Will they ever do it? We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
LeBron signed with the Lakers, which should have excited every fan of the purple and gold, but it has not. 2 of LeBron's murals here in LA were vandalized, and speculation is diehard Kobe fans are not putting out the welcome mat for the king. Kobe was asked about it recently. Let's take a listen.
Listen, if you're a fan of mine, you're a fan of winning. You're a fan of the Lakers, right? I bleed purple and gold, so that's above anything else. I've been a Laker fan since I was yay high. That's never going to change, right? And it's about winning championships. So they'll fall in line.
Shannon, what do you make of Kobe's comments?
That's right. He's been a Laker since he's been this big.
Yay high.
Yep. And so he says he's there. If you're a fan of his, you're about winning. You're a fan of LeBron, you're about winning. And he's coming to the purple and gold, and he's going to win.
He did not say that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
Did
paraphrasing.
not say that.
I'm paraphrasing.
No.
Can I paraphrase? That's what he meant.
No, you cannot. You're leaping to conclusions he did not leap to.
First, this is really simple. Kobe saying, look, guys, if you're a fan of mine, I play for the Lakers. You should root for people that come play for the Lakers because they're here to run a championship. And this guy's going to get you as close to winning a championship as you're going to get in a very long time.
He did not say that. He did not say that.
Something.
Okay, go ahead.
You don't have to say everything, but you know what he means.
You're reading so much into it. He didn't
I
say
ain't
that
reading
at all.
nothing.
Well,
You can be a Kobe fan and root for LeBron. They're not going against each other, Skip. LeBron James cannot undo the 20 years that's been done by Kobe for the Lakers. He can't undo that. He can't undo what Shaq accomplished or what Magic or what Kareem and James Worthy. He can't. All he can do is add to what the Lakers, this historically great organization, has already accomplished. All he can do is add. There are certain recipes, Skip, you don't tinker with. But you know, maybe the presentation, maybe you present it a better
into
way.
this cooking.
Yeah, I'm good at cooking. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, Skip, y'all need to study. They get ridiculous with this. Now, I'm about to be out on these Laker fans. Now, I'm about to be out on them.
They're way out on you.
No.
Yep.
And me and Brian, see, we thought we was doing you a favor by coming here.
Nope, you missed the boat on this one. I don't think LeBron saw this coming because he has been so idolized, so protected everywhere he's been, and all of a sudden he walks into this hornet's nest. It's Kobe's nest. It's not his. Sorry.
It's okay, Skip. We're not trying to undo Kobe. LeBron ain't say, well, I'll come here if y'all take 8 or the 24 out the rafters, or y'all get rid of this. That's not what LeBron said. LeBron says, I'm coming here to add to what this organization has already accomplished. We're going to get us some more jewelry, more gold Larry O'Brien trophies.
So here's my read on what Kobe said to Rich Eisen's, whatever it is, the show. I believe that Kobe Bryant will never, ever, ever believe that LeBron James is better than Kobe.
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, you're right.
Never,
Absolutely
ever change.
No.
He believes he's mentally and physically tougher than LeBron has ever been. He believes, Kobe, that he's more clutch than LeBron has ever been.
Which is not true.
Well, it is true. And it's the way Kobe is going to think, and that will never change.
Okay.
So he wanted to do LeBron a small favor, but only a small one. He wanted to open the door by slightly encouraging his fans to come on to the LeBron party, just at least sit outside on the lawn, just kind of, and what was the phrase that he used? Eventually they will fall in line. Well, that's like damning with faint praise because he's not saying they're going to embrace LeBron.
We don't need them to embrace
Okay,
it.
well, they're not saying, or Kobe's not saying that his fans will ever say, LeBron has dethroned Kobe. They'll just fall in line.
Yeah,
It's reluctantly. There's reluctance to that, right?
First of all, let's
fall in line. Well, okay, we'll give up and we'll give in, and just because he's wearing purple and gold, we'll kind of root for him, but he's never going to eclipse our Kobe.
First of all, let's do real talk. You and I both know Kobe and MJ feel like they're the greatest two players they'll play in the NBA. They feel like no matter what, all the Hall of Famers or all the greatest players, they feel like it's them two, and then everybody else, we'll talk to y'all when we finish our conversation.
Yep.
That's how he actually thinks.
Sure.
LeBron's like, hold on, wait a minute, bruh. I'm up in this piece. I'm either first or second greatest player of all time based on my resume. Because, hold on, I'm trying to figure out.
This sounds like battle lines have been drawn by you.
No, I'm just trying to figure out in what sport can we honestly say that a person with one regular season MVP has ever been considered the GOAT? Name the sport. With one regular season MVP, he gets considered to be the GOAT.
Well, he could have won 10.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about Kobe.
Jordan? Oh, I thought you meant Jordan.
I know. I'm saying name the one in what sport.
Okay.
If you look at hockey, with Gretzky.
Well, I never said Kobe was better than Jordan.
No, I'm saying he's the GOAT. People want to say he's the GOAT. How? What?
They just think he's better than LeBron. I don't even think Kobe fans think that he's better than.
At what?
Well, that's a whole discussion for another day. I'm just telling what they're doing. That's what they
Well,
think. That's
look,
their mindset.
If you don't want to embrace us so well.
And it runs so deep here that they're willing to deface murals of LeBron James and spray paint 3 and 6 on them, which is LeBron's
Do whatever you want.
record.
You either ride with us or we'll roll over you. But one way to progress must progress.
You're going to roll over the Kobe.
Ride with us or roll with us.
Like battle lines.
Roll with us or we'll roll over you.
That's a threat?
But this LeBron train is here in L.A.
Really?
And it's about to take off, and you don't want to get left behind.
You know what?
Choo-choo.
I think Kobe despises that.
All aboard!
You know, Kobe despises that LeBron James came to L.A. and is a Laker.
Well,
he despises.
He'll get over it.
That's what I think.
He'll get over it.
Well, he tried to do him a little favor.
We don't need no favors.
My people will fall in line.
That's all right.
Okay.
LeBron got enough people.
Yeah.
When he start dropping these triple dubs, they start winning. They win this title. They're like, Kobe, who? What? Oh, that's what you had for dinner?
You think they'll do that?
That's what you had for dinner last night?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Skip, let them love Kobe.
Okay,
I like
So
Kobe.
he wins a title for the Lakers. He's 4 and 6 in the finals. What was Kobe? 5 and 3?
5 and 2.
5 and 2?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take that. 5 and 2.
Yeah.
Is that better than 3 and 6? I don't know. Maybe
Well,
it's not.
I just, you know,
Not in your eyes.
I would have loved to have seen LeBron James in his prime play with a prime Shaq. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful thing that would have been. What a wonderful thing, and have Phil Jackson as a coach. What a wonderful thing.
I
See,
would love to have seen Kobe in his prime get to play in the Eastern Conference the whole way. He would have dominated.
Oh, like he played before, like he played when Shaq left and they didn't have Powell? Like he'd played, he'd have got 35, 40 a night. But what was he winning, Skip?
Did he win some championships? He won 2 with Pau Gasol.
With Powell.
Wow.
Let me ask you a question. Is Powell Gasol going to the Hall of Fame?
Everybody gets in the Hall of Fame.
So are you saying Powell Gasol is not a good player? Is that what you're trying to do?
He's pretty good.
Was he pretty good back then?
All-time great? Is he top 50? I wouldn't give him top 50.
You do realize that he took the Memphis Grizzlies to the playoffs.
Okay.
The Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to be careful because he's my Spur now. So, but
I'm just saying.
he's okay.
All I'm saying is like, look, Kobe fans are Kobe fans. It's not Kobe fans against LeBron because we're on the same team, Skip. We're on the same team.
You just.
I mean, I would have liked to.
You just drove a stake between them. That's
How about a prime example?
Yeah.
Peyton Manning joining the Broncos. It wasn't he ain't no be no John Elway. He ain't won no championship. They're like, Peyton, we welcome to have you because now we know we're closer to winning more championships with you as opposed to without you. That's a prime example. I can't make it no better. I can't make it any better.
Maybe John Elway wasn't as beloved in Denver as Kobe is in L.A. I don't know.
Bull jive.
I don't know.
Bull jive.
Careful, watch your
Bull jive. Skip Bayless, and you know it. And guess what?
I don't know.
Peyton Manning,
deep.
Peyton Manning came. What did he have, Skip? He had 4 regular season MVPs. He had the 1 Super Bowl. He had lost another. John Elway had the 2 Super Bowl wins, although he had lost 3. And same thing. Here come LeBron.
Maybe Bronco fans decided right away, well, Peyton's kind of on equal footing with John. But here in L.A., they're like, LeBron James? Are you kidding me?
No. But first of all, Kobe can't be on equal footing with old Bron.
Huh?
No, you can't be on equal footing.
Oh, well, that's
because he's not in South Dakota. He ain't in South Dakota. To be on equal footing with Bron, you got to be in South Dakota.
How do you get to South Dakota at 3 and 6? I want to know. How do you explain that? Your restaurant sells only W's, but Kobe's 3 and 6 in the LeBron's 3 and 6 in the finals.
We got
and
vacation
he's
homes
on Mount Rushmore.
We got vacation homes up in South Dakota.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me, him, MJ, Kareem.
You've been to South Dakota.
Magic.
Somehow I don't.
Interesting. So Kobe's saying they will fall in line, which means by default. By default. That's what the best.
Ain't no default.
The best you're going to get in L.A. is by default.
We win that. We gonna win these rings. Rings brings people together, Skip.
Now you're to the bottom line, which is ain't going to happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Unless Kevin Durant comes here, and then Kevin Durant will be a much bigger star in L.A. than LeBron James is.
It's gonna happen.
With KD, it might.
First of all, there's only a handful of right now. There's a handful of people that's on LeBron's level as far as universally. You got to talk about Ronaldo. You talk about Messi. You know, MJ still going. But even though MJ, not Bron, not right now. Not right now. Bron on another level. Bron like soccer stars. Soccer stars.
Yeah. He's in for it. He stepped in it here.
Skip. That's what we wanted. We love a challenge.
Thank Kobe for giving you a little nod, just a little bit. They'll fall in line eventually.
The greater the challenge, the greater the conquest.
Okay.
Skip. What
You gonna win a championship?
Yes.
With Kevin Durant or without him?
Genghis Khan didn't say, I want 100 acres. What did he do, Skip? He wanted it all.
Yeah, but he had the Mongol horse.
Nah, what that ain't.
I just want to know if you two will ever fall in line for me. I feel like that's wishful thinking. Is it panic time for Skip and all the Cowboys fans?
Nope. Sorry.
Are you sure about that, Skip?
Nope.
We'll discuss next.
Yep.
No mercy.
The Cowboys committed 8 turnovers last night and were blown out 27-3 against the Cardinals. Dallas is now 0-3 in the preseason, but Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott were not in the lineup. Dak has thrown 2 touchdown passes this preseason, but Zeke hasn't played at all, and 3 starting offensive linemen are dealing with injuries. We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Mark Schlereth. Mark,
Here we go.
how concerned should the Cowboys be right now?
I think they need to be very concerned. We used to have this saying when Shannon and I played is they don't count, but they do matter. It matters how you establish yourself. It matters how you go out there.
I agree with that.
Right, how you go out there and handle your business. There is this flip the switch mentality that exists in the NFL today because they don't want to risk injury and they don't want to, the guys they're paying a lot of money to. You've got an opportunity now to roll out in the first part of the preseason or the first part of the regular season and actually play well if you basically handle your business in the preseason. So many teams decide, well, we're just going to make the first 4 weeks of the season our preseason.
Right.
Yep.
And you look at their division, are the Giants better? I think they're better, right? Are the Eagles, or the Eagles are the defending champions, they haven't played very well either. Where's Washington right now? Like, this division is kind of an anomaly to me. Like, I don't know what they are right now. I have a feeling the Eagles are going to be okay, but still, I don't believe in that. Hey, we're just going to flip the switch come, the first week of the season. We're going to be okay. You've got your starting offensive line. Smith has chronic back issues. Travis Frederick, Guillain-Barré syndrome. He may never play this year.
Might not.
And you never know how that's going to affect him long term. Zach Martin has a knee injury. Says he's going to be back for week 1. We don't know who your established receiving core is. There are so many things that scare me about the way they've handled this preseason. If you're a Cowboy fan, you should be nervous.
And the thing is, because everybody, they want to protect the player. Skip, you play tackle football. There's a chance whether you play preseason, regular season, when somebody tackle you, something bad can happen. Or you can have a non-contact injury. So what? I guess if you go down there and you have a non-contact injury in week 1, well, at least he didn't play in the preseason. That makes no sense. You have to get guys used to being hit. That's the problem. A lot of these injuries, guys are not used to being hit, Skip. So they get a hit. They don't really know how to fall just yet. They get twisted, and boom, that's what happens. You cannot protect as hard. Unless you don't play at all, if you play tackle football, there's a chance. Every time you go to tackle someone or someone tackles you, something bad could happen. It's hard for me to now. I've seen that LT was a running back. I think LT might have played 2 preseason games in his entire career. Adrian Peterson didn't play a whole lot in the preseason. Running back.
Remember, Adrian Peterson had more carries the other night in Washington just trying to make the team than he had in the previous 6 preseasons combined.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's okay because that guy's going to touch the ball somewhere between 300 and 400 times. So if you can minimize the amount of hits he's going to put on his body, you do that.
Okay.
But for a quarterback, Skip, and for offensive linemen, Skip, you got to get some timing. You got guys got to be in sync. Now, I know when Stink and I played together, we were going to play 10, 15. Now, it all varied. If we look good, we were going to play 10 or 15 plays. If we look like some stir fry, we going to play 25, 40 plays.
Right.
But the third preseason game, we're going to the half or at least the first series in the third quarter.
All right.
You knew that, but come game time, Skip, that first opening day came out rolling.
Okay. So, is Ezekiel Elliott healthy to our knowledge right now?
Yes.
Very healthy. Is Dak Prescott very healthy as we speak?
Yes.
I think he's very healthy. That's all I need to know because what did last night tell me? What I already knew. The Cowboys have no backup quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut both of them tomorrow, but somebody's got to play Thursday night, so maybe after Thursday. Cooper Rush, Mike White, I don't think they can play. Cooper Rush had some flashes a year ago, but if Dak Prescott goes down, they are done. It's him or bust. And I'm okay with that because I'm knocking on wood. He's been fairly durable over his first 2. He's been very durable.
Sean Lee is more important.
Okay. He is not more.
That's what you told me.
Quarterback is more important.
Oh, okay. But they had him all last year, so why they go 9-7?
To the defense. And by the way, he didn't play last night either, and he is upright and I think fully healthy. And I agree with your thought about they count. I'm sorry, they don't. They matter. They matter.
Yeah.
I despise the 8 turnovers. It's just bad, even though the people who contributed to the turnovers will not be playing when the real bullets start flying. But they were flying last night, unfortunately, on national TV, and 8 turnovers are contagious. It just gets in your psyche, and it starts to infect the first team. And once you see balls on the carpet, everybody starts putting balls on the carpet. Right. I don't love it. But you have 2 weeks to just kind of shake it out of your system, because we did see one thing happen last night when the first-team defense, without Sean Lee and without David Irving, who will be back after 4 games and he's suspended. But without those two, the first-team defense looked dominating to me, because Randy Gregory came out last night. That was like a welcome back Randy Gregory.
Well, the Cardinals didn't have David Johnson, didn't have Larry Fitzgerald, so they were playing without some of their starters also.
Okay, but we're talking about defense now. Defense.
With the Cardinals' offense.
Okay, I got it. But all I can do is evaluate what I see on my TV, and my eye test told me Awuzie's turning into a star.
Oh, man, stop.
Hey, listen, I think you look at Dallas Cowboys defense just from a personnel standpoint, you could make a very good argument. They've got compelling defensive ends, compelling ability to rush the passer, inside guys that can rush the passer. Yeah. I like the cornerback position, moving Byron Jones over there. I think, I like where they sit right now from just a personnel standpoint. You know, you mentioned the 2 weeks. Shannon and I have been a part of a #1 overall seed that got that week off, that bye week off, came out flat, did not play very well, end up losing a playoff game as a #1 seed. This 2 weeks,
Brunell?
Right? This 2 weeks of sitting around,
you like it?
I like it.
But this 2 weeks, this 2 weeks of sitting around, he just continues on. This 2 weeks of sitting around, like without playing, that doesn't change the fact that you're completely out of sync. You haven't developed any rhythm, and it's going to be hard in 2 weeks of not playing to develop some rhythm early in the season.
I'm going to say it again.
A lot of other teams that don't have rhythm too. So maybe
my
maybe that's
receiving core will be much better because there's no Dez Bryant. Dak Prescott's going to spread the ball to a bunch of, if you want, no-name receivers. He'll just spread it. Cole Beasley's not no-name. Terrence Williams is not no-name. But after that, it's just a collection.
I don't really see receivers. I see retrievers. A receiver is someone that catches the ball. A retriever is somebody that hits the ground and bring it back to you. That's what I see. Yeah, them guys are not receivers.
Oh, wait, they bring it back to you, so they must have controlled it?
After you hit the dirt, they toss it to the official.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Skip, you saw what happened last night. You saw, again, everything right there at the line of scrimmage, 5 yards here, 7 yards there, even without Dink and Dak. That's what they do. Michael Gallup had an opportunity. I said, Skip been telling me about this guy. I said, I'm going to watch it.
He's made a couple of big snatches, man. He's got range.
He's
got catch radius.
All he had to do was continue to run and put his hands up. The ball's going to hit him in his hands. He'll hit his head on the goal.
I tweeted it immediately. He jumped way too soon. I have no idea why. But who was throwing to him? Cooper Rush.
That was a good throw.
Cooper Rush.
Well, if Dak...
No rapport.
Well, that's why you play in the game. That's why you put Dak in the game. Thank you.
That's exactly the point. You just made our point. No rapport because they haven't played together.
Okay, did you see Dak's touchdown pass to Michael Gallup? Is that possible? I saw Michael Gallup run down the sideline and catch one right in the breadbasket from Dak Prescott.
You saw the San Francisco 49er cornerback misplay the ball. He stops running. Why? I don't know, unbeknownst to me.
Well, you didn't hear what Chris Collinsworth said on NBC last night because you don't listen to the sound, but Chris Collinsworth said he went to Cowboy practice on Friday, and he said he was blown away by Ezekiel Elliott.
I need him.
He said he was exploding all over the field.
He was. I believe it. You know what, Skip? But I needed you to come in and tell me what Collinsworth said about the guys that were on the field last night. He saw them in practice, too.
He loved Randy Gregory. Just loved him.
I'm talking about the offense.
Yeah, but he said the Cowboy pass rush, exactly what Mark just said. 3-4 games in, they could start. They've got fierce.
I think they've got a chance to be really good on the defense side of the ball.
There we go.
Again,
Sean Lee,
you know what? Hey, Ezekiel Elliott in shorts and a T-shirt.
Yep. But I've seen him.
Look, I'm telling you what.
I've seen him lead the league in rushing wearing
Listen, I have too, and
Yep.
I think he's a great player. And the one thing about running back, you probably transition a little bit easier without. We've seen this with, like you talked about Peterson and other guys that haven't gotten carries, LT in the preseason. But a quarterback position, hey, all I know is Tom Brady plays in the preseason.
Well, he doesn't usually until this year when Belichick wanted
But
to
I
expose him.
I don't know how you felt, Mark, but I needed to play. I needed to get my rhythm. I needed to get my timing.
No.
Yes, I did. Skip,
In year 8 and 9, you're like,
yes.
please get me out.
Just let me go and get this. Hey, let me get my 25. Let me look good. This dress rehearsal. Skip, all it was a dress rehearsal. Make sure the outfit fit well. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? You going to put it on. Let me see y'all walk out there.
You know what I want to do? Honestly, this is what I want to do. I want to take the ball when we got it as an offense. I wanted to cram it down your throat.
Yep.
I wanted to make sure that if we played again during the regular season, postseason, Super Bowl, whatever the case may be, that you knew you were going to have an all-day, an all-day affair if we got together again.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I want to walk to the sideline, take my shoulder pads off, and eat sunflower seeds.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all I want to do.
That's all I want to do.
The Cowboys just want everybody to take them lightly. That's all.
And they're just hanging.
Nobody's going to take the
I don't
Cowboys.
know. That's interesting, Mark. Thank you.
Everybody's going to beat the brakes off of them.
Thank you for joining us.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.